everyone, welcome back to Tropical Gloss. Welcome to the September garden tour where we see plants as they just step in to autumn. So my garden is 10 metres by 5 metres. It's based in Gloucester in the southwest of England, and this has all been created in 3 years. As the sun comes out, let's have a look. So we start here just outside my back door with these beautiful gingers. Just stunning flowers and an amazing scent. They're going past it a little bit now, but there's a few still in bloom. And let's push through to the shady area. So I've got lots of colocasias, etc. that I'm just propagating here for next year. But in the shady corner, we have this beautiful Begonia luxurians. The palm is the Livistona chinensis, and then a Scheffler alpina. Now I've got 3 of these in the garden. This one's still in a pot, but we'll have a look at the others in a bit. And then down at the bottom we have a Scheffler Taiwaniana, which I'm just growing on, which is one of the micro prop ones. It's about 18 inches tall now. Just on this side I also have another propagation middle corner with Tetrapanax and Stroboranthes, Boehmerias, Begonias. And this little acacia tree, which I've grown from seed. It's now approximately 4 foot tall. Then next to that we have Solanum quitoense, which is producing fruit. I've not actually tasted the fruit before, so it might be an interesting thing. Underneath there is our seed-grown Manihot Grahamii, which is doing really well. And then the Locot, which is getting planted out. The flowering, well, it's about to flower. The flower spikes come up. Yucca gloriosa variegata. So this here is looking a little bit weather beaten and worn. It's been a long season for it, but it's still looking lush. So the dahlia there, happy single flame, still pushing out flowers. Moved a Cassonia spicata just to fill a gap because the princeps used to be in that spot, but that's been potted up, which we'll have a look at later. Butia capitata or odorata, well, that has done very well this year. It's put out 4 new fronds and is currently getting swamped by a huge clump of colocasia pink china at the back there. Unknown Canna is trying to flower again. I thought I'd try the seeds, see what happens with the seeds on that, but I think it's a hybrid because there are no viable seeds coming off that one. And then this thing. This is Phytolacca americana, and it is, to be honest with you, 8th thug. It just spreads everywhere. I've let it grow to see what happens, but yes, it's going to get removed. Just wanted to see how big it's going to get. It's just a mass of berries now, so I'm expecting it to self-seed everywhere as well. Hey ho. And then this was a 7-centimetre plant at the beginning of the year. It's now really doing well. Yucca rostrata, sapphire skies. Behind the dahlia there is this phormium that's been hidden pretty much all year, but it's certainly put on more divisions, and it's been hidden by this Euphorbia minus Merlot that was just non-stop flowering. Finished flowering, all the flowers cut off, so let's see what happens next year. And there is various other stuff in here. There's a Musa Everred that I've just grown on a little bit. That'll get potted up for the winter. Various other things in pots, just letting them grow on. Daylilies, obviously no daylilies now. Camrops Volcano. That's aloe vera. Aloe vera. And yeah, things in this bed are just starting to go over a bit now, not looking their best, not looking as lush as they once did, but that is due to the season. So the Persicaria is just going over a little bit here. Camrops Volcano has done really well, it's really enjoyed that spot. And so is the Alstroemeria, but this Dahlia is just ridiculous. It has just non-stop flowered all year. Kind of Cleopatra, kind of Thai Smoky Flame, which is just trying to push out a flower, and then Solanum lacinatum, which is a really highly recommended annual, has great foliage, beautiful purple flowers, and produces these fruits with seeds. We also have a Colocasia esculenta, and then the Philostachys aureosulcata spectabilis, which I am going to move from this position. I've got some ideas for this one. And a forest of Aloe-striatulas. I've got a Tridoscantia in there just for a little bit of colour pop. But yeah, this has grown really well this year. Very, very easy to grow plants. We'll just see what they do in winter. And there's the Bestumeria Flamingo Glow. Not sure again what I'm going to do with this one. I might dig it up and pot it up, because I am going to make some changes in this bed. And there you can see the fruits of the Solanum lacinatum. Hello Bobbit. Bobbit likes Bestumerias. And then moving around, Persicaria, this one's in the shade, so it's doing a little bit better, and it's starting to develop the lovely pink flower spikes. Self-seeded Canna indica there. And then this is all going to change this year, so it's just next year, so it's all just for prosperity. Brunnera, Euphorbia minus Merlot, and then this lovely Waggy, which is going to get moved, Trachycarpus wagnerianus. And then such in this location we have a Blechnum brasiliensis volcano, which is a non-hardy Brazilian tree fern. So it's in a pot, it will come in to the greenhouse in winter. More Brunnera, and then there is the non-stop flowering Euphorbia minus Merlot, which I have now cut all the flowers off because they had finally gone over, and hopefully that will just fill out in spring. Panning on around, and then moving around a bit, we have a compact Camrops humilis. It's growing in the shade, so it's not getting much height, but it is just filling out very nicely. And then a clump of Hacanacloa macra there, Japanese forest grass. And now the battle of the Alocasias and Colocasias. So we've got a huge clump of Colocasia pink china, battling it out with an Alocasia regal shield in a pot there. But yeah, those Colocasias have taken over. And then in this position here we have Scheffler alpina, Nandinas, Strobilanthes. This one has been cut down a bit. I've taken off lots of cuttings off this. Cordeline's growing well. And then at the back there are the huge Canna musifolia. The one on the left is actually throwing up a flower spike. So for those that say they don't flower in the UK, well, they flowered last year, and it looks like they're going to flower this year. So behind this Scheffler and this cut Strobilanthes, we have Decnasia fargesii. There's also a really nice Fatsia polycarpa, which will become more visible once the frosts hit and get rid of this strobilanthes. I'm going to leave this one out and we're going to test its hardiness. It's not the coldest part of the garden, but it'd be interesting to see just how well it does. So the Trachycarpus has done really well. It's pushed out many new leaves this year. So yeah, I think it's going to actually go for it next year because it's looking really healthy now. And then below all of this we have some ground cover, so nandinas and daylilies, more mahonias, the Drimmies lanceolata there, colocasia, black sapphire gecko, and absolutely stacks of colocasia pink chinas, all sitting below the huge ensete and the ridiculous musabasjus, which are looking a bit wind battered now. But as you can see, there's more rollers coming up, so give it a little while and we'll have some fresh leaves there. And then we can look behind into this section here, and there is absolutely stacks going on in there. You can see the Canna Russian Red has been pushed forward, so have the Canna Thai Smoky Flame. They should be up against the fence. They're about 1.5 meters away from the fence now, completely covering the Berinda CS1046, so I need to sort that out. And then the Brugmansia. This thing just has not flowered. 2 years now, no flowers, just grown and grown and then grown a bit more. So yeah, I need to rethink this plant. I might have to cut it down and start again. And then another huge Solanum lacinatum. So as we move around underneath the ensete on this side, we have colocasia pink china, lots of them growing in there. There's also a Tetrapanax rex just poking its head through there. I might have to move that, I'm not sure. More colocasia, black sapphire gecko. This Mahonia, Minus Merlot's done really well, was a single cutting. Persicaria virginiana, and then down here we have the Astelia Silver Shadow, which I'm going to divide in spring and pop around more places. The Yucca Gloriosa is just looking beautiful, and then behind that we have more Canna musifolia, more Solanum quituense, and then a Cyphomandria bettacea, a Tamarillo tree in a pot. That will come into the greenhouse over winter, but yeah, dramatic big foliage on that one. More people should grow this plant. And below that we have the very nice Trachycarpus wagnerianus, which is just a beautiful palm. I'm really looking forward to watching this one grow over the years. The Echium pininana is still growing away. It's got to be about 7 foot tall now. Fingers crossed we can get it through the winter. And then behind that there is a potted Philostachys Oriosulcatoriocolis, which has put up a few combs this year. I'm going to repot it next year. I do have some plans for it for some screening, but that's for a later video. Unknown Persicaria, I thought it was Orientalis, I just don't know, so any experts out there, please let me know. Salvia amistad, lots of different things all crammed in this area here, which just needs a bit of a tidy up really. Less plants next year. So we've got the more Ricinus zebrinus, not zebrinus, Zanzibarensis. There's our Canna Russian Red, still in flower, producing seed pods. Lovely looking canna this is, very tall. Phormium Yellow Wave has done well this year. And then behind that we have a fantastic Abutilon. It's X hybridum. So I'm going to actually pop this up, stick it in the greenhouse for winter, because it has got some really good height on it now. And yeah, I want to protect that if I can. I've also got loads of seeds from it. So moving on around, there is our Musella laziocarpa. The Dalmera pultata has gone over now, and as you can see, this Colocasia pink china is also turning. So yeah, so a bit of a revamp in this area next year, as we've discussed in previous videos. For now, we'll just enjoy what it's showing us. So inside, or underneath the Aralia alata, Gunnera tinctoria, we'll have a bit more space next year. That is a room, palmatum, that's going to be moved. You can really see, now I've moved things around already a little bit. This young Dixonia, it's got about a 6-inch trunk, so it's just a fern really, not a tree fern. But yeah, it's really got some room to manoeuvre now. I put in a Schefflera taiwaniana underneath here. I think it's going to do really well in this spot. And then there is also a Schefflera alpina underneath the Tetrapanax. And then we have the Paulonia tomatosa. It's really put on some decent height in the last month or so. And then the Aralia alata as well, which has just rocketed this year. This is going to get moved to a different location. Cussonia spicata, this is going to have to be dug up and potted up for the winter, as it's not hardy at all. And this clump of Courtleia spicata is growing very nicely. Underneath this Paulonia leaf is a nice clump of Begonia torsa, so hopefully get some bulbs off that. Underneath here, Nandina domestica, another young Dixonia, and then behind that there is also a Strolanthes mastersii. Lots of other little things in there like Fatsias and leatherleaf viburnums, etc. Loads of ferns. And then the Tetrapanax. So I've discussed this in quite a few different videos. It's flowering now, so all the leaves have been pushed down and they're looking a little bit tired and old now. But the head, now I know the flowers aren't spectacular, they're not really pretty flowers you get on a Tetrapanax, but as you can see, it's developing branches, and that's what I'm excited about, is how many different branches is this going to grow if I protect the growing point this year. Also, can I get seeds from it? And then just moving on round, as the leaves have dropped from the Tetrapanax, this Trachycarpus fortunae is shining through. Underneath that, lots of different ferns, Fatsia polycarpa, which has grown really well this year, Mahonia soft caress, and underneath there's also this Camarops volcano. So I've had a little bit of a move around. There was a Camarops humilis in there, a standard form. That's now gone in the front, because I think the compact version of the volcano does look a lot better in this area. And then down underneath this section here, Pulmonaria has gone over a bit, looking a bit mildewy, so I need to see what I can do about that. Might have to trim all the leaves off till spring. Different Pileas in here, Boamaria, Begonia bells and whistles. And we have the windbreak area, which is this Fargesia rufa, and also this Roostyphina, which in summer they do give a good amount of windbreak. There's a bit of a wind tunnel here. More palms. So we've got a bit of a selection going on here. We've got a Washingtonia robusta, a Sable bermudana, a Princeps just down here, and a Trachycarpus fortunei cross Princeps in there with yuccas, etc. These are just all growing on now. And a Dahlia, which isn't producing flowers but is producing buds. Weird thing. So there you go.